Hello, I am back for science, and as you can see, I've got my pot. Can you see what's sticking above it? Look at that! My seeds have germinated. Germinated is kind of like born. They have opened up and grown. Let's see if I can get it to you. I know I saw Gage's last night, and he had one pot that had little, his were not on tall stems yet. There were just two little leaves sticking up. So I want you to observe your plant today. You need to be careful when you are watering. I watered mine just a little bit this morning. You do not need the water to be in a puddle in there. You should not have water that is just sitting because it will rot the seeds. Too much water is not a good thing. If your dirt is hard and dry, your seeds cannot grow either. So it needs to be just moist to the touch, okay? It doesn't need to feel hard and dry. It needs to feel just a little damp. So today I want you to get your plant observation journal book. And we are going to draw what our plant looks like. So my first day, I had a pot with dirt in it. So now I've got to draw a pot with dirt in it again. Let me see if I can do this. I did a, sorry, and you do this on yours. Do your pot again. Well, I messed up just a little bit, so I got to erase. I want you to draw what your plant looks like. If you planted several different pots, you can just pick one pot to draw. Okay, or you can draw all of the pots. I don't care. But you have to pick at least one pot to draw. All right, so there's my pot, and I'm going to color my pot and my dirt, and then I'll draw my plants. So I've outlined my pot. I'm going to color my pot in. Okay, there's my pot. And then I'm going to do my dirt. There's my dirt. Okay, now I'm going to use green, and I'm going to draw tiny little seeds, what it looks like. And they have two leaves on there, and they just have a long stem. And I have some over there, and I have some over here. And one right here. Okay. You can see the ones I drew down in the dirt. You can't see them as well. But the ones along the side you can see. Alright, and so today's date is May 5th. It goes up at the top. May the 5th. 2020. Alright, so write your date up here. May 5th, 2020. And then you can trace it with your pencil. (2020). I mean, you can trace it with your marker, sorry. Alright, I'm going to color my leaves in. My leaves are green at the top. Come on, guys. I know you boys are like, just color your leaves in. And you know, you don't have to spend forever at it. Just try to stay in the lines. See? Just a little do-do-do. Just kind of quickly. Doesn't have to be a work of art, but it does need to look good. What I'm trying to tell you is don't be a perfectionist. You don't have to get all like it has to be just perfect. So my plant height, I have to get a ruler. I didn't know I needed a ruler. Which I should have known I was going to need a ruler because I knew I was doing this. But I hadn't looked at it in a little while. So mine is 1.5 inches. Okay, so this one starts at 1 down here. Do you see the 1? Well, let me get it up where you can see it. It's got a silver tab there kind of blocking it, but you can see the 1, and then there's 2. Well, mine is halfway in between the 1 and a 2, so it's 1.5 inches. So I'm going to write down 1.5 inches. You remember how to write a half? All right, see I put dot dot on it. That stands for inches, 1 1/2 inches. All right. I have to write a little sentence about it. Many of my seeds sprouted. S-P-R. You don't have to write exactly what I'm writing. You can write what you want to write. Sprouted. So like gauge that one pot that you had too wet. You could say, one of my pots was too wet. They didn't sprout. Or you can just tell about the one that did sprout. Many of my seeds sprouted. Alright, so pretty soon I'm going to have to thin these out. I think I might do that with you today. So do you see that there are 2 right here? There's 2 plants. Well, they're both too close together. So I'm going to try to pull one of them out. Oh, there's one of them. Now I have 3 right here. So I'm going to pull the one in the middle out. Try to hold your dirt down a little bit because you don't want to pull them all out. There's that one. Alright. Now these over here, there are a lot of them together. So I'm just going to try to... I think I'm going to pull out the ones on that grew up on the side of the dirt. I don't even know how they got over there. Alright. I may have to end up going back. Well, I think that's got 3. Probably should pull out that middle one and get it down to 2. Alright. So, it's hard to pull out plants that are growing, but you want them to be able to grow strong. Okay? So those are all thinned out. Okay? All right. And we are going to start today. We're not going to finish it, but we are going to start. Let's see, where did I lay it? I started spreading things out. I'm not keeping it picked up. We are going to start our plant parts. All right. So what I want you to do today is get out your plant parts. We already cut plant needs off of here. Okay, and we're going to color it. You can color it with a marker or a crayon. They used a crayon, and I like what they did, but I still think I like markers better. So we are going to color our plant parts. Now this is roots, so what color is this going to be? Brown like dirt, and this will be kind of light tan. Your flower can be whatever color you want. What do your leaves need to be? Don't forget you've got a little stem right here too. That needs to be green. Alright, should not take long to color this. I want my flower to be pink. So I'm going to outline it in pink. And does the flower have a little stem under it? Yes. So you could color that little stem. What color should that little bit of stem be? Should be green. Alright, now try to stay in your lines. But again, don't feel like you've got to make this like, oh, this just got to be so perfect and it's going to take me hours. Just try to do a good job and stay in your lines and don't spend too long at it. Sometimes we tend to want everything to be just so right and it's just so overwhelming to even start the job. Alright, look at that. Ooh, so pretty. Now I am going to do an orange, yellow is what I have. So I'm going to do that kind of center. Oh, so pretty. All right, and then I'm going to do my stem in green. All right, now I need to do my plant parts, and I think I'm going to do it in dark blue. It's basically going to be just like tracing it or outlining it. Because if you use a marker, if you use a crayon, it probably will be hard to do these letters, because crayons, after you've colored with them just a minute, they do not have a sharp point on them anymore. Okay, mine is not looking that neat. I think I need to get my glasses on so I can see where I'm going. These lines are so tiny for Miss Amy's eyes, they start running together. Alrighty, I'm almost done with my letters. You know what, it would be easier to use colored pencils than crayons, so if you have some colored pencils, you might want to use that. If you've got crayons, just be really careful. Alright. Plant parts. Alright, now then, I'm going to do all of my leaves and my stems. So they're on this page. It's a leaf with a little bit of stem and then just a plain stem by itself. So I'm going to do them green. And you don't have to cut anything out today. We'll cut out tomorrow, okay? Today we just want to get it colored. Alright, I got one leaf. If you outline, go on the outside of the black, just on the big bold black lines, go on the outside of it just a little bit so that your color will show up. Alright, see how I went on the outside of the line just a little bit so my color would show up. Alright, and now I'm going to do my little stem. Alright, nice. So now I've got my stem. I'm going to go back to the front and I'm going to do my dirt and my plant. So my dirt is going to be dark brown, and I may not color it in. I might just outline it and do the little dots in brown. Because I want to be able to, I want it to be like a cutaway view of the earth that you can see. So I might just trace over all of their little dots with brown. You know, you don't really have to color them, you just have to dab them. Alright. So I think that's all I'm going to do to my roots, to my dirt, because I want to be able to see the roots. So I have a little bit lighter tan, and it's actually darker than the lid, but it's the lightest tan I have. So I'm going to do the roots tan. You know, when roots are growing underground, they're not green. Once they get down in that dirt, there's no chlorophyll to turn them green. They're just whitish. They're not exactly white, they're kind of a little bit of a yellowish color. But you can go outside and try to dig up some Bermuda grass in your yard, which most people have Bermuda grass here. I'm going to trace the little hairs, tan, that are coming off the roots, the little tiny roots. Alright, and there's my roots. Looks pretty good, huh? And that is all we have to do today. So that wasn't too bad. This took us a little minute. We made an observation on how our plant was doing, and we started plant parts. So we know we have the roots, the flower, the stem, and the leaves. Those are the main plant parts. We will be talking some about some other plant parts, but those are the main parts. So save this for tomorrow. We're going to glue it into our book, our little book. Whoops. All right. So we're creating another book. All right. That is all I have for us today. I hope that your plant is growing. And I know that I saw Braylon's dad yesterday, and he had some beautiful plants growing in his front flower bed. And he said he waters them with Miracle-Gro. What do you think Miracle-Gro is? It's nutrients for the plant. So we're going to talk about the difference of plants making the food, but they have to have nutrients from the soil. So if you feed them through the soil with a plant feeder like Miracle-Gro, they will do good. But you just don't want to put too much on little seedlings because it will overwhelm them, and we call it burning them, and they will die. So don't do too much on little seeds, maybe just little bits. All right, I will see you tomorrow.